Hello everyone, it's Friend Tim here, and I'm continuing on with the Outpost2 Let's Play series today. I've had a great big delay for two reasons. Number one, my new recording software does not work with Outpost 2, and number two, I couldn't commentate and play at the same time and get within the time I needed. So this was recorded ahead of time and I'm commentating over it. So some of the first things I did here was I started some scientist training. Damn dogs. Started some scientist training, got the ore route set, started the advanced lab building, all that fun stuff. Just get some very basic stuff going. And if you remember from the last episode, I said something about a lava trick. That no longer works, I found out, unfortunately, so I have to go and build this mine down here. And it really sucks because that trick was very useful before. Yeah, the mine up there is very convenient, but you gotta work with what it gives you. So just trying to check on all the objectives I have not finished. As you can see, there's quite a bit of red there. And I'm sorry for the quality of the picture. You can't read any of the words on here, at least I can't, and that's nothing I can do about that with Camtasia's built-in recorder. I'm thinking about using another recording software that I saw a commercial for that's supposed to be native to Windows, that is completely free. And it seems like it should work better. Once I get 6 microwave links built here, they're going to be moving not all the way to the corner where the enemy units spawn, because they'll just get completely wiped out, and then it's costing me a lot of resources just to rebuild them. I think I'm building a third residence in order to get the children birth rate up a little bit. And there's the 100% meteor that always hits right there. One of the things with your colonist production rate is that if your morale is not going upwards, you're not going to have a very good birth rate, so you're not going to get very many workers, you're not going to be able to train your scientists. It just all goes to hell. I'm setting up the second route there. And bulldozing the path, which will make it a much faster route. Oh, I was building a third agrodome because when your population gets high enough to meet the requirements, your food storage starts depleting. And then I'm building a residence. This is a few days after I did the initial recording. I didn't have time to record audio afterwards, so this has been sitting for a while. And there's still a lot of objectives to complete. Building another robo miner. I'm going to build 2 of those, one for the rare ore beacon that's going to appear up there. So you're going to build 2. Oh, just moving it right now. I haven't had the 100% earthquake yet, which means that I'm going to eventually realize I'm going to do something else, so I have it build a 2. Move the convict out of the way. And I'm just starting to build the structure kits now that need to be I need to have built for the objectives. I believe in the hardest mode you actually have to have them loaded up in the construction vehicles. And I'm waiting on evacuation transports until later, because there's no point in putting out resources for them unless I have very little storage left to fill. I'm having a hard time thinking about what I'm trying to say here sometimes. Right now I'm keeping an eye on that electrical storm because those things can vary in damage greatly. I've had one almost completely destroy a building in a single strike. 2 strikes actually did destroy it because it was a quick its frequency was pretty high. Okay, that's another structure kit built. Well, it's pretty difficult to play while you're commentating, but it's pretty difficult to commentate once it's a pre-recording. I don't know if I mentioned this in the first few episodes, but I have the game speed turned down for this. If you turn the game speed all the way down, it will go at a very slow pace, which makes it very easy to react to things, but the game doesn't move as quickly. I mean, you're scrolling around the screen at the same speed that the game's going. And I think that's a pretty good feature to have for adjustable game speed. That's something a lot of games now could really use, especially strategy games. Oh, alright, so I'm going to hit the Windows key instead of the Control key. Oh, why I was trying to hit the Control key, I don't know, because that's a Robodozer. It's been a couple minutes to find the research topic I wanted. And let's see, structure factory. Once that's done, I can build the rare ore smelter. Now, I think I mentioned this before, but I'm using a lot of the hotkeys to go around through things. Like if you see on the buttons, I don't know if you can tell, but there's some letters that are red inside the words. Those ones, if you hit them, it will do the same thing as if you click the button. And when you get used to what each of the buttons is, then you can go through things pretty quick. For example, if I'm doing research and I have to reduce the number of scientists because one died and now my nursery is disabled or a medical center is disabled, I can just quickly click on the lab, hit the 3 buttons I need to hit, and it's all taken care of. And I did not damage that cargo truck, which was very lucky. I mean, that was pretty close there. Starting up the advanced combat chases, which will allow me to produce Panthers, the 2nd tier combat chassis. Is it chassis or chases? I think it's chassis. And that's going to destroy something, I think. Oh yeah, that one took a hit. And took a, okay, it didn't get destroyed. It took me 2 attempts on it to get this recording. The previous attempt, I was just 1 objective off, and then all of a sudden something blew up and it destroyed everything. But with it being that close, I figured, hey, might as well go ahead and try again. And I accidentally selected an evacuation transport line, selected cargo truck. I'm tongue-tied there. And here's the first wave of eating units, of course. Now, if you just let your units attack on their own, they'll go ahead and pick out targets, but it's not the best targeting system. They'll just attack whichever one they see first. But if you manually target, you can have them all focus on a single one, destroy it, and you'll take a lot less damage. I just realized I did the evacuation transport there, starting to get the cargo truck over. Right there I was checking on the yield. Once the yield climbs up, reaches a peak, and drops back down to a steady number. And then once it reaches that steady number, it's not really that efficient to a mine. You usually want to put more smelters on it. In multiplayer, the usual thing is for someone to have a single mine surrounded by sometimes up to 6 smelters at the same time. And then they'll have 1 to 2 cargo trucks going between the smelter and the line. And right there, waiting for the first bit of rare ore to come in, so I can build a Panther. And I'm starting to start moving the cargo trucks off of the top line. I haven't heard anything about the volcano yet. However, it's just better to have it done out of the way, because if you're in the middle of an attack while the volcano erupts, you have to try to split your attention, and it's never works out very well. Okay, one of the first extra evacuation transports to start meeting the needs. I think I noticed the scientists there. Nope, didn't notice. No, either I didn't notice it or I haven't worried about it because I have some training or something. He's starting some weapon research there. Heat dispersion. That actually makes... That was Robodozer that just exploded. The heat dispersion will make the microwave fire a lot faster. Well, you get 2 shots off for every 1 laser shot in this early game. Eden doesn't get that research until something else, which I'll discuss when I do the playthrough of the Eden campaign. And I mentioned before, I do plan on doing both colonies. So you get some RPGs produced. I believe my metal capacity reaches max. You can produce either additional smelters or metal storage units in order to increase the maximum capacity. However, when you're in this level at any difficulty above easy, it's not worth the time. I mean, you're wasting resources, you're wasting time. When we get to the end of this mission, you'll see how close I'm cutting it, just as it is. And there's some of the people who've been playing for as long as I have who are really quick with switching over things. They know the build order, they know the research order. And it's amazing how fast they can get some units out. Okay. Checking on the actual populations there. A lot of this game, when it's in the single player, is waiting around for things. I just caught on to that attack there, which means I'm going to lose a couple units. Yeah, that was the first of the railgun attacks. The railgun is a much more powerful weapon than the RPG, but it is a line of sight weapon, so in the end it's better to have an RPG because then you could fire over walls, down cliff sides, all these different ways you can do things. So you haven't researched lava defense yet. I will eventually get to that, I think. I usually do so I can have the rare ore smelter running a little bit longer. Yeah, there is a rare ore beacon close to the lower common ore beacon, but I never use that one. It's far too close to where the light comes in at. It's pretty much suicide to use that one. Some of the beacon locations are different and easy as well. And you repair that right away. If that advanced lab blows up, it's going to take out the residents and probably do some heavy damage to the vehicle factory. I can't remember the exact blast radius of it. But see, he's trying to load up cargo trucks, I think. I think I'm reaching capacity with the smelter. I'm not sure though. Okay, down to a few units. The children, the cargo truck being loaded. Cargo trucks are the last thing you want to take care of. I mean, when they're empty, you can have them running ore routes and keeping your metals pretty high. But if you start loading them too early, you're going to find that you need a lot more metals than you have processed. I have 2 loaded, but again I have more than can fit around the smelter running, so it's okay. And lava defense, which will bring up a lava wall which can take the heat on the lava and disperse it. Doesn't last forever, but it does slow it down significantly. I'm not worried about that damage right now. Got another EMP links being built. I didn't see when I started building the first, but you guys probably did. And lost another links. And another. Now you can repair your vehicles, but I don't have the structure or the vehicle for that yet. You either need to have a garage or, in Plymouth's case, a spider. He didn't have a completely separate unit for that task. And they are getting the final ones off of the original ore route. Putting all my research onto the Lego robotics so I can get the spiders built. Moving vehicles so I don't have to rebuild them, because I don't know how strong that lightning storm is. I switched to a different topic. I didn't see that happen, but I know it did. And there's the lava wall starting to get built. And dissipating adhesive sticky foam. Ooh, gotta repair that quick. Yeah, meteor hit right onto the ore smelter, sending one cargo construction vehicle to repair that, and getting the arachnid factory, starting to load up the food. Once on this difficulty setting, once the volcano starts erupting, you need to hurry up and start getting things wrapped up because the light's not far behind. Easy difficulty, it takes it a little bit longer. And it seems to be somewhat random when those two events happen. The last game where I failed, the light started coming when it was day. This time it starts coming when it's night, I believe. Approaching and destroy that one, then target the other one. And I didn't destroy the first one first, because I had EMP on it. EMP is a very useful weapon. It disables units, and with Plymouth, if they have the spiders built, they can reprogram units, which you will probably see next mission. I have not yet started that one. If I remember correctly, it's the first wreckage mission. Spider 3-pack. Because the arachnid units are so small, they can be produced either one at a time or in groups of 3. When you have an objective to have 2 spiders, you might as well just build the 3-pack. Save yourself some time. I just disabled the university there in order to have the children increase. If the children are being made into workers, then I'm not going to reach the numbers I want. Let's see. I'm loading up the last of the rare metals. Moving units that I need to keep out of the way. Not even going to bother with wall anymore because I have all the rare that I need. And just notice that electrical storm. I needed another cargo truck for some reason. I don't remember. I think one got destroyed, but I didn't actually notice it during the game. I just couldn't find an empty one anymore. Okay, that's the last one for the food. And I need another evacuation transport. And I have plenty of common and rare metals left over. And that research I started there was for magnetohydrodynamics, it creates a power source that does not damage itself. However, I do not believe I managed to finish it. Any moment now, the blight should be approaching. Yep. See that big old purple glob on the map? That's the blight. Okay, go ahead and save, and then look at... I think I'm supposed to look at the mission objectives and stuff like that. There we go. A little bit of mission briefing, story. You can't read that. I was hoping that you would be able to pause it and read that if you wanted to. Yeah, return 3 spacecraft parts to the starting location. So that's it for this time. I'll see you guys next time when we go ahead and start collecting the parts.